The shadow of Morella never left. I thought it was over. I had closed her eyes myself, whispered to the priest myself, "May her soul find peace." But there was no peace, not in her eyes, not in my mind, not in the house, where the walls breathed her name, where mirrors warped my reflection into something that wasn't me, where every night I woke to hear phrases in ancient Greek, short like nursery rhymes or gibberish, and my tongue froze in fear because I understood it wasn't a prayer, it was a summoning. When she died, the ground was dry. We buried her beneath the cypresses, where not even birds or worms dared to dig. I remember how her body twitched one last time, like her soul was still clinging to her flesh. I remember how her lips tried to speak. I didn't let her. I didn't want to hear it. I sealed her mouth with a kiss. And from that moment, my mouth began to rot. 9 months later, on the same bed where Mirella died, a girl appeared. She didn't cry. She watched me the way she watched. I never gave her a name. I just called her you, because a name is a mark, a name is a gate. I knew if I named her Mirella, it would begin again, but it had already begun. At 4 years old, she read, not books, her diary, the one I'd burned, or thought I had. I found it beneath the child's pillow, scorched but legible. At night, the pages whispered, "I didn't die. I remember you. I'm inside her. Look." I screamed, but the mirror answered with her face. She stood behind me, the daughter, nameless, but with her eyes. Each night, I heard something dragging across the floor. Each evening, I saw the walls darken, flowers wilted, lamps dimmed, candles wept black soot. I walked the house and felt it breathing, like the chest of a corpse, heavy, slow, ominous. At 7, she asked me, "Daddy, do you remember how I died?" I ran, into the night, into the forest. I ran until I fell. Behind me, shadows, dozens of them, all with her face. At 9, the girl fell silent, for weeks. Then, one morning, she got up and drew me, crucified, on a black wall. My face twisted in the exact expression she had when she whispered for the last time, "I will grow into you. Do you hear me?" And I believed her. One night, I woke up to fingers combing through my hair, cold, long, whispering. They burrowed into my skull. I jumped up, no one there. But the pillow was wet, with blood, not mine. I wanted to kill her. But who? The girl? My wife? The demon? She never slept. She lay there, eyes open, for hours, days, months, whispering, "Name me." At 12, she fell into a coma. I sighed with relief. I thought it was over. I would name her something else. I baptized her alone at night in an abandoned church, whispered the first word that came to me without thinking, Morella. And in that same moment, she opened her eyes, not just opened, threw them wide. Eyebrows vanished, pupils turned vertical, veins bulged across her face. She sat up, soaked in blood, and laughed, like that evening, the night she died. Her laughter folded the air, scratched the walls, cracked the mirror, pierced my heart. She said, "I'm here. I've always been here, and now you are too." I wanted to die, but death is a gift, and she doesn't give gifts, only curses. We came home. I carried her in my arms, or did she carry me? I don't remember. The floors warped, water seeped from the cracks, salt, tears, brain. Everything wept. The doors wouldn't open. They whispered instead. Every wall scarred. Every painting faceless. In the corner, a cradle, empty, but rocking, singing. And inside, not a baby. Inside was me, small, trapped, smiling that same awful smile. I screamed. Mirella laughed. She no longer had skin, only light. It burned me. pierced me, wove itself into my bones. I felt something growing inside me. It wasn't me. Each morning I wake with a new face, not mine. Familiar. Heron. I look in the mirror, and I'm not there. Morella is, again, eternal. Forever. 13 years have passed. The house has rotted. But not her. She lives. In every speck of dust, every note, every nail. I cannot leave. I cannot close my eyes. I cannot die. I spoke her name. And the name became a sentence. Remember this. Never whisper what has died, because it will hear you and return. Inside you, through you, for you. Name her and be ready. She's waiting. In the dark, in the corner, in the mirror, in you. Morella. Whisper it. I laugh. I scream. I dissolve. And below, in the crypt, both coffins are open and both are empty. The curse returned to Pesburg. They sent me to a hospital, but it was a mausoleum. My daughter knows all the names and whispers them one by one. I wasn't alive anymore. I was decaying from within. The house had long vanished beneath the ground, swallowed by the crack that opened the moment I spoke her name, as if that's not supposed to happen. I went back to where it began, Pesburg, the town where Mirella studied, where her spirit drank from the forbidden. I returned to her university, her library, her ward, but the building was gone. Only the facade remained. Behind it, nothing, only blackness and sound, teeth grinding, throats choking, crying, singing. I fell for 3 days, no sleep, no food, downward, deeper, into memory, into names. They found me in the basement of some abandoned wing, unconscious, with a word carved across my chest, Auto, the one himself. In ancient Greek, the doctors thought I was insane, that I cut myself, that I starved waiting for voices, that I wouldn't sleep because I feared the dreams. They transferred me to a psychiatric ward, Northwest Wing, supposed to be closed. They locked me in, told me, "You're safe here." I laughed, because I knew. They let her in. The room smelled of antiseptic, mold, and incense. Who prayed here? Me, her, us. On the 3rd day, a doctor came in, an old man with a child's eyes. He didn't speak out loud. I heard him in my mind. He asked, "What was her name?" I didn't answer. He asked again, "What is her name?" And that's when I knew. He wasn't a doctor. He was the one who helped her return, the one who knew the language of the dead. I tried to scream, but my tongue was bitten through. It moved on its own, whispered names, women's names, one after another. I heard lights flicker on in the neighboring cells. 1, 2, 3. They were waking up, all of them, the ones who were called, the ones who never died. I rushed the door, unlocked. Beyond it, a corridor, endless. On the walls, portraits, all female, all her. Morella as a child, Morella veiled, Morella with a book, Morella with a knife, Morella at a coffin, Morella birthing herself. I ran. 13 doors, each with a name, each with a mirror. I looked into one, and she was already standing behind me. I didn't know who I was. My brain split. Fingers snapped, bones twisted. Something was growing a second face inside me. It moved beneath the skin. It crawled toward my eyes. It stared from within. She entered. White gown, blood on her feet, silence on her lips. "I was you," she said. "I will be again. Name me." I couldn't, but my tongue did. Not my lips, not my throat, my heart. It forced the sound out. Not a name, a signal. Mirella. The room trembled, mirrors cracked, walls throbbed. Whispers became screams. All the cells burst open. All the women stood up. All of them were her. They walked toward me, slowly, in a circle. each one bearing her face, her hands, her memory. All whispered, "I am here, I am here, I've always been." I closed my eyes. When I opened them, I was alone. On the floor, a skull, small, childlike. In my hands, an old knife, engraved with the word palingenesia, second birth. On my forehead, a scar. Around my neck, a tag, patient number 999, fusion phase, complete. And in my ears, a single voice, "Now you are her." Then I understood she never wanted revenge, nor power, nor pain, only memory, only to not be forgotten, only to be named, because a name isn't a chain, it's a bridge, not a call, but a return to what was once true and was therefore her. Otu, I whispered it, and there was no more fear. It sounded like breath, like wind in the morning forest, like a drop falling into a mirror. Eternity, simple, quiet. Morella stood at the window, no longer a girl, no longer a woman, neither dead nor alive. She was light and dust, a memory that no one remembered, but everyone felt. She said, "You accepted me." I nodded. "I never left you. I knew. Now, you may let go." I didn't ask why, I just took a step, and the window vanished. We stood not in a room, not in a hospital, not in a house. We stood inside time, where nothing ends or begins, where there is only here. Her fingers touched my forehead. "You are me now, and you are me," I said. "Otu," and everything vanished. Only silence. In the morning, they found me in an abandoned church. No scars, no wounds, no memory, but with a smile. In my hand, a scrap of paper. It read, "Otu, palingenesia, Monet," the self, the rebirth, the solitude. But solitude isn't sorrow, it's peace. Since then, I hear no voices. My dreams are clear, and every flower at dawn whispers the name that no longer frightens me. Morella. She's not in the mirror. She's in the air. Like everything that was ever truly real and remained.